Hey team, it's Taki. I hope you're doing great. What a great start. Rub my eyeball. Fantastic. Very professional. In today's live, I want to share the VA Onramp. It's a system that we use to get virtual assistants up to speed quickly and onboard people well. So every month inside Black Belt, we have a theme around attract, convert, deliver, or scale. And today is thank you for the thumbs up, people. That's great. Today's this month, September, is a scale month for us. And so we're working on the backstage of our business. Today I just ran a webinar called The Handler about how to work with an assistant to help you schedule, make your weeks amazing. But what I want to do right now is share something that's going on live for us. I'm onboarding 2 new people right now. One is a coach and one is an executive assistant. And no worries, dude, I've seen that. Sorry, this is just me tapping off a notification. And in both cases, we're using an on-ramp process. For our executive assistant, this is exactly what we're going to use, the VA on-ramp. And so this is our process for getting a VA up to speed quickly. It comes down to a really simple 6-week rollout. And if you'd like a copy of, not the whole workbook, but this is the overview of exactly what to do each week, then just type in on-ramp. Maybe in all capital letters, so it's easy for me to see it, and I'll hook you up. Cool? All right, so let's have some fun. Oh, by the way, I'd really like as many people as we can to see this. I like to go deep at least kind of once or twice a week on a live. The internet's been crap here in Fiji. Vodafone managed to dig through their fiber optic cable a day or two ago, so it's good to be back online. If you wouldn't mind, I'd love it if you could click the share button and just let as many people as we can see this. As we walk through this kind of process together. Is that cool? So I'd be grateful if you could do that. So let's just give you a quick overview. Getting an assistant, any kind of assistant, whether they're kind of physical and local or virtual and offshore somewhere, up to speed is a bit of a mission. It's a bit hard. And so what we want to do is we want to make sure that we've got a process for it so we can get someone from like zero to hero as quickly as we can. I read this thing by Jason Fried, I think, or maybe it was DHH, one of the guys from Basecamp the other day, saying that nobody really hits the ground running. Everybody takes a little bit of time to get up to speed. And so this is just going to shortcut that process. Thank everyone who's typed in OnRamp. I'll hook you up later today when I'm finished. So the VA OnRamp really has 3 distinct phases. Right? 3 distinct phases. And they're just like this. And so we start off with our relationship. When somebody first starts, they've got to understand you and your business, what's involved, who you serve, what the products are, like everything about you. We're taking someone who's got no clue and kind of trying to take the USB out of your head, stick it in theirs and bring them up to speed quickly. The first thing we need to work on is relationship. Like, who do you serve? Like, what's your business and you? And then what's their role? Secondly, we've got rhythms. And in rhythms, we're looking at 2 things. Number one, what are the rituals in your business, like what happens each day and each week and each month, like what are the routine repeat tasks, and then which has them like start to plan out your calendar and manage that. And then secondly, let's have them kind of manage the contact that you have with clients, so they can start, or clients and prospects, they can start to manage your inboxes and stuff like that. So that's rhythm. Relationship first, rhythm second, and then rollout third. And rollout is when they start to take over marketing, so scheduling broadcasts and maybe mapping out campaigns. And so this is what we call the VA OnRamp. And again, if you want the detailed walkthrough, just type in OnRamp and I'll hook you up. The OnRamp looks like this. If we break it into six steps, right? The very first thing that we want to, let's go blue, shall we? Very first thing we want to do is get them super clear about you and you super clear about them. We're going to get to know each other. Connection first, and I'll walk you through a little bit about how, but connection first is about who are you, what do you guys do, who are they, and how are you both wired? How do you both communicate best? How do you like to give info, receive information? What times a day works best? What tools do we use? Just like the setup piece. And then we've got the role. What's the job you've hired them to do? What's involved, and what are all of the tasks that are involved in it? And then we start to filter them by frequency. What's daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, or other. And so we filter by frequency, and then also we look at through Dan Sullivan's unique ability filter. What are you incompetent at? What are you competent at? What are you excellent at, and what are you a genius at? What's your unique ability? And obviously we're going to, anything that's daily or weekly and that you're incompetent or competent at, we're going to offload that stuff first, right? So that's that. Next up we have our rhythms. So that's kind of week 1 and week 2. Week three is about the rituals in your business. And so in week 3, we're going to get them to start to handle your schedule. What's your ideal week look like? How do you want things to go? What are the themes and focuses for each day? That sort of stuff. And I'll walk you through examples in a second. Week 4 is about contact. We figured out that there are 16 kinds of messages that we get from clients and prospects and suppliers. And so we just have like templates for each of the different messages. And I'll show you again a little bit about that in a sec. Week 5 and 6, we start to market, which is, how do we set up a broadcast email? It's kind of a useful thing for them to know and start to take over your group messaging. And then 6 is campaigns. And so if you had a VA that could run this stuff for you, frankly, life gets pretty good pretty quickly and you're able to offload a bunch of stuff. So what I'm going to do in a second is I'm going to show you the agenda for the first 6 weeks. How do you physically map this stuff out? And this is the Onramp page that I'll hook you up with if you want to copy it, okay? Okay, so here we've got the Virtual Assistant Onramp. This is an online course that all of our Black Belt clients get. So if you're watching this, there's a bunch of you guys on the line right now who are in Black Belt. Ethan, my son, is loving this right now. What we actually did was we realized that most coaches really suck, frankly, at managing their VA. And so we built a 6-week course, which basically goes from here right through. And it goes, week 1 we do this, 2 we do that, 3 we do that. And it just kind of shows the coach what to do week by week by week. And then in parallel, we built a parallel. This is kind of, I don't know if anyone else has done this, but I thought it was pretty clever. I'm biased, but I thought it was genius. In parallel, we had a second 6-week course, which the VA goes through. And they go through the exact same stuff that you learn, but they're actually a week ahead. So by the time you go, we should be doing this, they're like, yeah, all over it. And that's kind of the idea. So we built these 2 courses parallel. If you're in Black Belt, you already got them. Just search for VA Onramp inside Black Belt members and you'll get it. So here's how we do it. We've got and if you want a copy of this, you're probably watching this on your phone right now. If you want a copy of the worksheet, just type in Onramp and I'll hook you up. Our 3 phases we just talked about, we've got relationship, weeks 1 and 2, rhythm, 3 and 4, rollout, 5 and 6. For each one, we've got the outcome, like what's the goal of that week? What do you need to do as the coach? What do you do together? And what's the VA do on their own? So let's just kind of walk through this piece by piece by piece, okay? By the way, this is super valuable, and I'd love it if you could click share because, frankly, dude, we want to help as many people as we can, right? So the outcome of week 1 connection is get to know each other, get to know your business, and get to know your goals. What do you need to do? You need to prep for the meeting, and there's some sheets around that. The kickoff call and the communication builder. What do you do? Well, you have this kickoff call, the get to know you meeting, and then what do they need to do? Set up your tools, email, whatever you use for social, your Google Calendar, Voxer, Slack, Dropbox, whatever tools you use for messaging, etc. And you work on that together. So that's kind of an overview of what week 1 is about. Some stuff for you, some stuff for them, some stuff together. Roll is what week 2 is about. So they've gone away and set all the stuff up. The outcome of week 2 is that you create daily, weekly, monthly, and quarterly tasks. So you just got to end up with a task list. How do we do that? We use this thing called the activity inventory. That's your job. Then we review them together, systemize, work out what are the first 5 things to start systemizing, and then project plan and systemization is what they do. That gets our relationship piece done. Now we're in rhythm. What do you do in rhythm? Well, it's about rituals first, week 3. Establish our internal communication rhythm. So what's your default diary look like? Ideal week, default diary. Then we schedule in our meeting rituals, a daily check-in, our weekly tactical meeting, our monthly strategic, and our quarterly plan. We set up Calendly or Time Trade, probably Calendly's Calendly's more new, Time Trade's a bit older, and any systems that you use. Week 4 is about contact. They start to manage your inbox, your calendar, and one-on-one communication. So you review the 16 email templates from our here. The schedule-related stuff, booking your appointments, rescheduling appointments, cancelling appointments, requesting appointments, personal, welcoming a new client, checking in. If they've had some bad news, a personal touch. If they've had good news, this is how we like to celebrate good news. If somebody wants to request a tool, ask for help, cancel or update their credit card, how do we do that? Marketing, sales, blah, 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 blah. Yeah? And so that's review the email templates. What do you do together? Well, you review the emails and look for the language palette. And then we load the emails as canned replies to help manage your inbox easier. And then they're setting up any of the other systems that we decided in week 2. You'll see that comes all the way through. Week 5. We're in rollout territory right now. Marketing. The job is that the VA sets up, cleans up your CRM, sends out first email broadcast for you. We select or share your CRM. We record your broadcast with Voxer. They review it and send it. Review the broadcast, and here their job is to import or clean up your list, send the broadcast, and work on your systems. We use a broadcast builder, or email builder. What's your topic? So this is what you do with a pen. What's your topic? How do you want the prospect to think and feel and do after reading it? You map out a subject line, an intro, a body, the conclusion, and then just Voxer voice record it, and they type it up, you review and send together. And finally, the rollout piece is about campaigns. Rollout, the first full campaign is the goal. You decide what the campaign is. Together you brief them, and you do your 6-week review. Right? What are our wins together, and what are we going to do next? And that just gives you a little bit of an idea about how to get a virtual assistant up and running quickly. If you look at the weeks, you'll notice that the first 3 weeks are internal. Connection with you and the business, what their role is, and then calendar. And then the last 3 are external, managing contact one-on-one, managing broadcast, and managing campaigns. So this is just an overview of how we get a virtual assistant up to speed quickly, assuming we've got a general VA whose job is to kind of take over sort of everything in a way. The first 3, super, super important, and depending on if their role involves marketing, definitely week 4 for contact, and then 5 and 6 optional. Cool. But hopefully this has been helpful for you as a model for getting your team, either a new team member up to speed quickly or an existing team member tweaked and improved. 6 things to focus on once a week for 6 weeks. And again, if you want a copy of the handout, just type the word Onramp in capital letters and I'll hook you up. Team, it's been really, really fun. Thanks heaps for your time and your support today. If you have any questions, pop them in the comments, and I'm at your service forever and always. Take care. I'll talk to you soon.